What I have right here is the all new Google Fitbit Air. I got some tips and tricks I want to share with you that I noticed a lot of people always overlooked. So from everything from making sure you're getting the correct step count whenever you're pushing a shopping cart at Costco or pushing the scroller, here's all the amazing tips and tricks you need to know for those who are using the all new Fitbit Air. And of course, timestamps, all this stuff will be in the description down below for your pleasure. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the number one complaint I've been seeing a lot, especially on like content creator reviews, and that is the built-in vibration motor. By default, it's actually set to low. And to increase the aggressiveness, there's a setting you need to manually turn on, and it's kind of weird. You'll see what I mean. So in order to have access to this vibration setting, tap on your devices right here on the top left. It's the same exact thing on the Android side too. That little top left, you'll tap there to click your device, select the Fitbit Air, and from here, just tap on device preference. And you'll notice on top, you have vibration settings. Again, for some reason by default, it's set to low. Change to the high, and now you'll definitely feel the alarm vibrating your wrist when it's time to wake you up. And then here you can decide to turn that off if you just don't want it to happen anyways. Now, since we're talking about vibration settings, the only vibration benefits that this thing can do is wake you up for your sleep schedules. You can set custom alarms as well. So let me quickly show you for those that are unfamiliar. Select the sleep section and just go all the way down to the very bottom where it says Fitbit Air Alarms. Manage alarms, enable this, tap the plus, and then here's where you could create your custom alarms. Monday through Friday, you can select certain days if you want to. Or you could just enable Smart Awake with your time schedules you selected. By having Smart Awake enabled, it'll wake you up during the most appropriate time frames during your REM sleep. So if you're on the very low end REM sleep, it'll wake you up earlier. This way, you actually wake up wide awake, not waking up feeling tired, That's what Smart Awake allows you to do, and just tap save and you're set. Now, the cool thing about the Fitbit Air is that it does not rely on your phone, as long as you don't need GPS. But built into this device has enough storage to store your data for up to 7 days. So if you end up having your phone like on airplane mode, or you turn it off, or you just forgot to bring it with you, no need to fear. 7 days of storage is built into this device. And then once you have access to your smartphone, launch the app, and it'll automatically sync the progress on top right here. Sometimes it'll show it, sometimes it won't. Now, the cool thing about this band is you could actually remove the little pod. They're calling it Pebble or something like that. That's what Google's naming this thing. But every once in a while, it's good to remove this like once a week and just clean up. Especially if you're somebody who sweats a lot while you're training or working out. And then pretty soon, keep your eye out on the third-party market, because I'm sure a lot of third-party development companies will start developing better bands than the standard one from Google. But Google does have some additional ones you can select from if you want to switch up the design. But later on, you'll be able to probably get like an armband. This way, when you're pushing the scroller or pushing a shopping cart at Costco, you'll still be able to track your steps even while your hands are stationary. But the trick I've been seeing a lot of people do lately online is putting this on their ankle in the meantime, because this part right here, it may not look like it, but this does fully come off, making it easier to use to wrap over your ankle and put it on your ankle. This way, when you're shopping, the tracker is on your ankle. Perfect when you're walking on a stationary treadmill, like on your rising desk as an example. This way, it's guaranteed to keep tracks of your steps. Now, the only drawback about doing it this way is that the sensor is optimized to be used on your wrists. So the blood oxygen sensor and the reading and stuff like that, your O2, might be kind of off, but not by a whole lot. But once the important stuff is over, your step tracking, just be sure to remove this and just put it back on your wrist. Now, real quick, folks, if you've been enjoying this video so far, found this video informative and useful, if you could kindly take 2 seconds to hit that like button and like, that truly does help out the channel, as that allows the channel to be fully powered by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see brand sponsorship segments on this channel taking like a minute or two off your time. Thanks to you guys for just hitting the like button and like. It really does allow the channel to be fully independently powered and away from brand sponsorship. So thank you so much for those that took the time on doing that. Let's carry on. So back on the app. The app is fairly customizable. I do have the premium version. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, how I feel about it. But tap the pencil icon to always customize like the shortcuts you want to see on top right here. So like you don't care about your calories, but you do care about your sleeping, you could just remove that, and then you could replace it with like your floors, your activity zone. So it is somewhat customizable right here on your focus tab. You go to the next toggles, you can remove them. If you want to move certain ones to be closer, you could easily do so like that. And then just tap save. So you do have some customization abilities right here. And then on the health tab, you could do the exact same thing. Tap customize. You could customize the key metrics you like to see and the ones you really don't care about and swap them. And then if you go down, you could add some new additional ones like your hydration levels or floor or distance that you travel for the day. But now let's talk about the premium version. So there is a subscription, totally optional. If you want to know my personal opinion, it's not necessary. All the cool features, the necessary features you expect to find on this band is given to you for free. The only benefits with the subscription version going with the premium is that you have access to AI. But as you clearly read, AI is kind of, what's the word? Obvious? Captain Obvious? Sometimes when I get less than 8 hours of sleep, it'll tell me you slept less, which means you slept less during your sleep. It's like, it's not necessary. It's just a gimmick in my opinion. It's cool that you could chat with it when you hit ask coach and it gives you examples right here. Like, hey, I'm training for some type of 5K mile run or something like that as an example. Help me out, or what advice you got. It's no different than just using ChatGPT. So it's honestly not necessary. But if you like to try it, I got it for free. Because when you first launch the app and you don't have the premium version, it's going to prompt you if you like to subscribe. If you say no thanks, another free trial will pop up saying we'll give it to you for 3 months. And if you say no thanks again, it's gonna now say we'll give it to you for 30 days for free, no credit card necessary. And from there you could accept or deny. So that's how I got the premium version for free. It may work for you. It could vary on the person as well as the region and the account and such, but that's how I was able to get it for free for 30 days for me to test it out. But honestly, it just makes my dashboard more cluttered up because right here a bunch of nonsense and I have to scroll down to actually see the important information down here. So that's a tip right there. And then if you have both an iPhone or an Android phone, if you log into your same Gmail account, it will synchronize the data between your two devices. So even though it's paired to my iPhone, I can still manage and see the information right here on the Android side of things. So I think that's kind of cool. But it will always be paired and synchronize the data from the Fitbit Air to the paired iPhone. And then it'll synchronize across my other Google devices. Additionally, if you're using like a smartwatch and you're using the Fitbit Air, the two will actually correlate with one another. So all the steps you're taking on the Apple Watch will get added on the Google account. Just however, the sleep tracking on the Google Fitbit Air will not be like imported on the Apple Watch type thing. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you like to synchronize the two and it's not working for you, it's really easy. To make sure that your two devices, the Apple Health app as well as Google, are communicating with one another, select this device one more time, select App and Services, and then from here you'll see Apple Health. Tap on here and just give it access to all the data. This way those two apps can easily communicate with one another. But it's only the Apple that can override the Google. The Google cannot override the Apple. It's just one thing to keep in mind. It works similarly with the Pixel side of things as well, in case you're using the Pixel watch. And then if you're a woman who likes to track their menstrual cycle, and then for females, and then for women, yes, you can track menstrual cycles on this app as well. But from my understanding, it's not as predictable like Apple is with the Apple Health app, which is why I think it's best to run both the smartwatch and the Fitbit Air, and just take off your smartwatch if you're somebody who doesn't like sleeping with it on, because this is much lighter and easier to sleep with on your wrist than the Apple Watch in my opinion. Even with the smaller SE model, I still end up unconsciously taking it off during my sleep. This actually did stay on. Aside from that, now you are informed how to use the Fitbit Air to its full potential. This way, you're actually taking full advantage of this amazing hardware that's on your wrist when it comes to tracking. Now, if you enjoyed, like to watch more, make sure to check out this video over there where I go through my favorite tips and tricks and hidden features that you can do on an iPhone, such as scanning documents as well as receipts. Super efficient. I show you some cool tips and tricks in that video over there to make your life so much easier. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.